Hey everybody, it's Rue Khosa, the Boob Boss, and I am back with Bumps, Babies, and Boobs. We are going to be talking to Dina Shanowitz. She is the operation manager for Unimom US. And Unimom just came out, well, a few months ago now, but with everything going on with COVID, who cares? Who knows what time it is anymore, right? What month is it? But earlier on this year, Unimom came up with I think arguably one of the best breast pumps on the market. And I reached out to Dina and I was like, Dina, you have to come live. You have to tell me more about this pump. We can't keep it in the clinic. It's flying off our shelves. Moms love it. And we get to give one of you that breast pump today. So it is an over $600 value. And so make sure that you have entered the giveaway. We're going to put the link in the chat box. Make sure you follow the instructions, enter the giveaway. All you need to do is sign up. You need to make sure you're following at The Real Boob Boss and at Unimom US. Make sure it's at Unimom US on Instagram. You need to tag 3 friends and you need to like the post, like the original post. It is on my feed. All right. So without further ado, let me bring Dina into the studio and let's talk breast pumps. Hey, Dina.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, love. Thanks for joining me.
Great. Yeah. So in general, I'm going to go on and I'm going to explain the brand initially, just let you know the background about Unimom, and then we can go on into the actual pump.
Perfect. I want to make sure when you explain the brand, because a lot of questions we've gotten is who? Like,
Right.
Who's Unimom? Why have we never heard about you? People are not very familiar with your brand at all. So as you tell us that, where have you been? Where have you guys been hiding? I mean, you've got amazing products. So what's going on with that?
Right. So Unimom actually is around for 10 years. However, it's very popular in New Zealand, in Australia, in Korea. And then just in the last year and a half, we introduced the brand into the US. So for the US, it's a fairly new pump. Now, we initially came out with the Unimom Minuet, which is a very popular pump. Moms love it. It's a small, compact pump.
Okay, let me show our audience what you're talking about. And
yeah,
that's the Unimom Minuet.
Right, correct. So that actually fits in the palm of your hand. It's rechargeable. It has a USB port, so you don't even need a specific adapter to charge it. It is a very powerful pump, and at the same time is half the size of one of the, larger pumps out there. So that was the first initial pump we came out with, and everyone's like, we want another pump. And we were looking for something that could be that could be used in hospitals, as powerful as a hospital grade pump, as well as lasts as long as a hospital grade pump. And that's when we decided to come out with a real hospital grade pump. So we're looking now, this is the Opera pump, and you're looking at this and you're saying, how is this a hospital grade pump? Because this fits, you're actually holding it. It's not like a huge machine that you have to plug into the actual wall, and it's impossible to carry. And the goal of this pump was, even though it's hospital grade, it's still small enough that you can use it as a personal use pump. And for those moms that have preemies or that are relying on a hospital grade pump for whatever reason it may be, if they have a low milk supply, this pump is for them. And what's nice about the pump is it is rechargeable, so you don't have to plug it in the wall. It has around 2 hours of battery life. I'm like, I'm a fumble to do that. At the same time, although it's very small and compact, you have inside the pump you have 2 motors. So when mom is double pumping, she actually is getting full suction on each side, which is an extremely unique feature that most pumps do not have. And usually when moms are double pumping, they'll feel that the suction decreases versus single pumping. And here with this pump, because there's a motor for each side, the suction will be full, you'll have that full power on each side when pumping. So that on its own is really unique about the pump. And this is just, the exterior of the pump. And now I actually would like to turn on the pump so you could see how unique the actual pump is itself.
Go for it.
Any questions so far?
No, I mean, I love this pump. Like, I feel like this is such a biased broadcast, guys, because we literally lost it when we first opened it. And then we started seeing everything that it did. Then I started talking to my moms who were using it. And now I was like, this is why I'm having another baby, right? So I can use the Unimom Opera. I love baby products. I love talking about them, and I love great products. And you guys created a great product. So, I'll let you finish, and then we'll break it down in detail so we make sure people, definitely understand every amazing feature it has. But no, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So this pump, because there are more features, it is a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to use it. But once you actually know how to use the pump, you're going to say, wow, this is very cool. Okay, so let's start with, I don't know how well you could see the screen.
It's very clear.
Okay, great. So you're starting on this side right here. This side, this little button here. One thing also about the pump is it's all touchpad, which is a huge, nice plus here, because you're not trying to fumble, which way do I dial my pump, if I turn it the right side, the left side. Everything's written out and pretty easy to understand. So this is the button that switches between massage and expression mode. So massage mode is when you're getting that stimulation. When mom initially would put the pump on, she would want to start on massage mode. This really helps with your letdown, helps stimulate the breast to produce milk. And once mom feels the tingle and feels that the milk is coming out, that is when she would switch to expression mode. So this is what this side of the pump services. It switches between the massage mode and the expression mode. And again, it says it on the corner of the pump, so you can actually see which mode you're pressing. Now, keep in mind, on each side, this is a vacuum and this is the cycle, which means vacuum is suction, which is how powerful the suction power will be. So for mom that feels that she needs, stronger suction, she would just increase the pump to the side she wanted. For mom that feels that she needed weaker suction, she would just decrease the side. And if you see,
hold on, because right there you said which side she wanted. So, and that's another feature of this pump that I was like, how did you guys pull this off? Because the pump you can pump with different vacuum levels, different suction levels on different sides.
Right. So you know what? Let me first go to mode before I go to that. So then, okay, great. So let's go back. So this side right here, we'll switch between the massage and expression. Then we go on the other side and you will see the mode. It says, we'll start from single left. Single left means you can have both tubes inside. I don't have my second tube set up, but it will only pump on your left side, which means, sometimes you have to remove it and put a piece out. When you're single pumping here, you can have both tubes, both kits inside, and it will just single pump on the left side. What's nice about this pump is that you can actually control the vacuum, which is the suction, which is how strong you want it, as well as the cycle, which is the speed, which is how quick you want it. How many cycles per minute? Do you want it to be quicker sucks or weaker sucks? Or slower sucks? So let's say I wanted stronger suction here. I feel like I need the, strong suction, and I wanted the cycles to be pretty low. If you look at the cycles, you'll see how it goes down. Over here, you will see cycle. It will go down to 60 cycles per minute versus 80 cycles per minute. And then when I go to my single right mode, I can actually adjust that as well. So if I wanted that to be weaker suction because my breast for some reason was engorged, or I felt that it was too painful to have a more strong, powerful suction going on, I can make the vacuum as low as, level 1. And if I wanted it to be quicker, I wanted it to have increase the cycle per minute, I would make it up to 100 cycles per minute. And then the coolest part of the pump is if I decided now I want to double pump, and I look at the mode, because let me go back. You look at the modes, it starts at single left and single right. And then you can go into synchronous mode, which is double pumping. And what happens is it will remember the mode of each side. The cycles and the suction of each side will be set separately. So for a mom that has one breast that's more sensitive and needs the weaker suction, and mom that has one breast where she feels she needs more powerful suction, she could adjust each side separately. And that's really what makes this pump so unique, is you could customize your pumping session for each breast separately, which you don't have to worry, oh, this is too strong for me, but I'm not getting any milk out when I'm in a weaker mode. Here you're actually putting each side to what, to what you need, which is very cool, very unique, and most of all, very effective, especially for moms that need help with their milk supply, because when you actually can customize the settings as well as the cycles and the vacuum, you're really allowing your breast to get what it needs. And then
I think, when you say it's pretty amazing, no, it is out of this world amazing. I feel like you took the question that every mom that I've heard complaining about, I have more milk on my right side and sometimes it's so engorged and it hurts so much to be on the same suction. You have answered so many. It's like you're hearing what moms have been saying. And like every question I think I've been asked about, I wish my breast pump did this, or why doesn't my breast pump do that, is in that pump. You completely answered it. So don't downplay that. I won't let you do that today.
So no, and the truth is, when this pump was made, Unimom in general, we had a few, we wanted to do something where we can actually make an impact on more moms and something that's more effective for moms, not just the typical pump. This pump was really made and was catered so moms can actually benefit the most from their pumping session, make it more comfortable, more effective, easy to use. And this has all of those features in it. And so so we started, I just want to go, because there's 4 modes. So I started, you have the single left mode, which is you could control the left side. Then you have the single right side where you can control the right side. Then you have synchronous mode, which is double pumping. And again, if you wanted both sides to be the same, you could just set it to be the same, you can just adjust it like this and you will get them to double pump at the same time. If you wanted it weaker, you can just make it weaker. So if you wanted to double pump at synchronous mode, you could actually adjust it so that it can be the same pattern. But for moms that wanted each side, to be set separately, when she would go on to single left, she would adjust that to the side she wants, and then single right, adjust it to the side she wants. And then when she does synchronous mode, it will remember that. So you have 2 options that you can use depending on what you feel comfortable with. And the most unique option about the pump is the last mode, which is alternate mode. Now, a lot of moms are asking, what's alternate mode? What does that mean? Like, what's the benefit of alternate mode? Yep. So alternate mode is actually the mode where it's double pumping, but it goes from side to side. So there's like a second break where it goes right, left, right, left. It alternates between each breast. And the purpose of this setting was because we have a lot of moms that are having a harder time with their milk supply. They're not getting that, they're not feeling their milk coming in. They don't get a letdown and need extra help. Mm-hmm. They need that extra stimulation. And when you are alternate pumping, a lot of times, like take when a baby is on mom's breast and the baby's, sucking on one side, all of a sudden you'll feel at the second side there's milk coming out. You'll feel that there was a reaction, and that's what it does. It reacts to the other side, which allows the other side to stimulate. So by going back from side to side, you're really stimulating each breast to try to produce more milk. So this is a very, very unique setting, and also an extremely effective setting, specifically for moms that are having a harder time with their milk supply. And we've had a lot of lactation consultants. Feedback was, we've tried the Medela Symphony, the Meta Platinum, and we've used this pump and went on alternate mode, and mom was flowing with milk, which we never knew we had. And it's just, this is a miracle pump. And, it's amazing when we get this feedback, because it's something that really is unique for moms, and this pump was catered specifically for moms that they can control their pumping session. They really could control each side. There's so many great features. So initially, when you look at the pump, it may look scary. There's so many buttons and things going on. But when you see that this purpose is just to switch between massage and expression mode, and this one has 4 unique modes: a single left, a single right, synchronous mode, which is pumping together, and alternate is side by, alternate pumping. You really see that there's not much to the pump once you understand it and realize that there's just so many unique features and benefits that you can actually benefit from.
Oh my God, I think one of the things I would always say to moms, because moms would be like, my left side is just not producing any milk. Rue, what do I do? And I always tell people, I'm like, listen, everybody has a lazy boob. And when you guys came out with this pump, and I'm like, lazy boob be gone. Like this is the answer to the lazy boob, because you literally can use this pump to encourage your lazy boob to like show up and show out. It's like,
Right.
hey, look at what I'm doing over here. And the other boob is like, well, let me show you what I'm going to do over here. So I love the alternating mode.
Right.
Again, I think, when you guys created this pump, you were answering a lot of questions that moms have had. And us lactation consultants have had to resort to answers like, everybody has a lazy boob. So I was really, really happy to see that, and see that there is something that we can do. But listening to everything that you said about the opera, and I'm just
Right.
going to bring it up one more time because I want people to be able to see what you're looking at, what we're talking about. So this is the picture of the opera. Another thing that is really unique about Unimom is when you order their pumps, you will get 2 sets of flanges with them, as well as these silicone inserts. With a lot of other companies, you're having to buy those, but Unimom is just going to throw them in there because they are all about the moms. So absolutely love that. But Dina, one of the questions that I did want to ask you is, okay, now tell me the truth. Why is this pump only $700? Medela Symphony is $2,000. Amita is almost $2,000. And you're going to tell me you're going to come up with a pump that does all of this and it's only $700.
Well, to be honest with you, that face is killing me there.
That's my, investigative journalism face.
So to be honest with you, Unimom, the goal of Unimom is really to allow most moms to benefit from the pump and to really make more affordable pumps so that moms can actually afford to purchase them. Not every mom can purchase and afford such an expensive pump. And here we made a opera pump, which actually is covered by insurance as a rental, but can also be purchased. And what's nice about the pump is that you're not paying a crazy, amount. And as well as the fact that I forgot to mention, this has a 3-year warranty, which really makes it, it's proven to be used over 3,000 pumping hours. So if mom, at any time had an issue with the pump, she can always contact us and we would be there to help her at any time. But at the same time, the goal is really for moms to be able to afford the pump, something that they can actually use and benefit from. And especially because this is something that we feel moms can really benefit from, we wanted to make it accessible and affordable for all moms. So to answer your question, that's the answer.
No, you know what? To be honest, I know this to be true of Unimom and just your commitment to breastfeeding, to helping moms breastfeeding, as well as supporting IBCLCs. Even with us at The Perfect Push, I know I've reached out to you and said, hey, I've got a mom. She's really desperate. Can you help out? And Dina is the first person to send me a pump and say, Rue, just give it to them. Like, you are super, super generous. I love, the spirit behind your company. I've loved working with you all these years. I can't believe how long we've been working together now, just over 2 years.
You've been one of the first. Yeah.
And so when I had the opportunity, you sent me the opera and you're like, check this out. And we're all like, oh my God, how does this do all this stuff? And again, it retails. I think if you go on Amazon, you can get it for just under, just around $600.
$5.99, yeah.
$5.99. You can get it through insurance with us. One of the things that I want to talk about is that insurance doesn't completely cover it because it's usually more than what most insurances consider the allowed amount for a breast pump. So families are having to come out of pocket. But if you're ever in a situation where you're considering renting a breast pump, 3 months into renting that breast pump, you would have paid for your Unimom Opera. So when you think about it that way, and you really think about how comparable and that's the thing that I want you to talk about. Actually, let's talk about that. When we talk about Unimom Opera versus Medela Symphony, because I think that's a pump that everybody knows, right. What have your studies shown?
So we've had, we didn't do clinical trials where we have, things backed up. But what we do have is we have a lot of lactation consultants in hospitals where they're dealing with moms with preemies who are having a harder time pumping, or, having a milk supply, who've been testing, who've been using the Medela Symphony or other pumps and just were not getting that reaction that they needed for the mom. Whereas, we did have quite a few lactation consultants request to see samples, and so far, like without exaggeration, all the feedback was, this is the most amazing pump we have. Like, mom has been using one pump versus this pump, her milk supply increased. She has 6 ounces versus 3 ounces coming out at a time. So with all the feedback and with all, especially with lactation professionals as yourself and others who've been using it and have been, testing out other pumps versus the Opera and saying that there's nothing like this pump, specifically because you have, the alternate mode, as well as you can customize each side separately, which allows moms that, let's say, are more sensitive on one side to still continue pumping and encourage them to pump, because they don't have to be at, each side at the same level and the same cycle. So, in general, we've, coming from lactation professionals and moms that have been using it, we had a mom that just had triplets and is relying on this pump. She's actually exclusively pumping all triplets, and said that this is like a milk machine. So it's great feedback that we hear, and no, we really have only gotten positive feedback, and you just have many more features than the typical pump has, which really allows it to be customizable for each mom. And that's what I think is the most important part of the pump, because every mom feels like they have the cycle, the setting, the features that, that fit them, and they can decide what modes and levels to be on.
Yeah, it's important to just have options. I love the fact that it gives moms options, and the more options you have, the more likely that, as a mom, there's so many pumps out there, and it can be really confusing. So when you do buy a pump, it's so nice to know that, there's a very good chance that I'm going to find a mode, I'm going to find a vacuum level, a suction level that will work for me. And it's funny you're talking about a mom with triplets, because I've had a lot of moms either who are having twins or moms with babies in the NICU, and they say to me, Rue, what pump should I get? I'm like, yeah, you kind of need a hospital grade pump, because you're the mom. I need to protect your milk supply. I need to make sure we come out of the gate swinging, because we know we're going to need a lot of milk. Or any of my moms that have hypertension, thyroid issues, breast surgery, anything that might predispose them, hormonal challenges, IVF, anything that might predispose them to having a low milk supply. I'm like, okay, pumping starts before the baby. Breast milk starts before the baby gets here. So learning about how to breastfeed and all that starts early. Let's get you a pump before babies get here. Let's learn how to use that pump. So it's super awesome to be able to have a pump that people can take home. Again, just under $600 on Amazon. You can get it off Unimom's website. You can get it through most DMEs now through insurance, and you just have to pay a little bit of an upcharge. So I'm super, super excited that people get to know more about it.
Right. And I didn't mention one nice thing about the pump is you have 3 nightlight modes. So if mom is pumping in the dark, in the middle of the night, she actually, I don't know if you see it because of my room, but you have 3. One is lighter, one is a little stronger, then you have the strongest, which is also a really nice feature. And what's really, again, nice about this pump, and what feedback is, from many people using it, is that moms that are reliant on a hospital grade pump, when they have, let's say, a larger pump, let's just take, the Medela Symphony or Meta Platinum, it is a big, heavier pump for them to carry. And they're reliant on an outlet. They're reliant on going with the pump. And for them, it's a disaster. It's a nightmare. They don't feel comfortable pumping. It's, devastating to always have to be plugged to a wall. Also the noise level compared to, a hospital grade pump. And this pump is extremely, you can't compare. It's a very quiet pump.
It's been on while you're talking and we couldn't hear it. And I won't say the name, but if anybody here has used a pump and you're familiar with it, oh my God, that sound in the middle at 3 o'clock in the morning, you swear your pump is talking to you. It's like, you're going crazy, what's wrong with you? And you start having a conversation with the pump, but you don't hear the opera. It's so quiet. You were talking the whole time it was on and we couldn't hear it. So yeah, we had a mom ask, how loud is the pump? Can moms pump discreetly on the go? So I'm hoping we answer that, because yeah, Dina had the pump on. It's very quiet.
Right. And like I mentioned, it is rechargeable. So if you're in the car or you're on the go and you don't have an outlet, yes, you can just use the pump. You have 2 hours of pumping time that you can actually use the pump. And it is a very convenient pump on the go, which again is, one of the great features of the Opera.
Allison wants to know, how easy is it to clean?
Okay, so the Opera pump comes with, you have the breast shield kit. So you have the tubing. Because it's a closed system and it's a multi-user pump, you do not have any milk that will ever go in the tubing. So the part that you will be cleaning, you will take off the tubing, and this is the part you would be cleaning. So the breast shield kit consists of, you have your diaphragm cap cover, then you have your diaphragm piece. This is the part that catches the milk, which which makes it a closed system and stops from any milk going into the tubing. So you would have these two parts, and then you would have your actual shield. So this is one piece. You would clean it, rinse it out. You have then the bottle itself. So, and then you have your duckbill valve, like most pumps have, and this is something you just want to be very careful with. You want to try to just rinse with warm water and soap, not really wash this too strongly, because it is delicate, and if this tears, your suction is gone. This is what stands behind the suction.
How often does mom need to replace those? How often do you guys recommend we replace them?
So the duckbill valves, we recommend every 3 months to replace. It also depends on how consistent you are of a pumper. For moms that are exclusively pumping and are using the pump, 8 to 10 times a day, may have to replace them sooner than moms that are using them 4 or 5 times a day. But we do recommend, when you start feeling the suction is getting a little weaker than normal, most times it has to do with the duckbill valve. A lot of times when you're washing it and cleaning it, this little gap right here, this little piece may open a little bit, and when it's not fully sealed, then your suction will decrease a bit. So you want it to be sealed. They're very affordable. One thing that's nice about Unimom is, if mom calls and does have an issue, we are happy to send replacements free of charge. We're not looking to, again, we're there for moms. We understand that having a baby in general is a huge expense. We're trying to really minimize the costs for moms. So when, they're having an issue with their pump, we're there for them. We're not leaving them stranded. But
awesome. So another thing when you talk about cleaning, because when I show moms our pumps in the clinic and I'm like, this is the Spectra, this is the Unimom, we got the Minuet, the Opera, I always say to moms, and it's the flange bit is kind of clunky, is what I always say. And today, when I was like, well, I'm full disclosure, I'm gonna ask you about the clunkiness because it's clunky to me. And you were like, no, Rue, it's clunky for a reason. So every mom out there that I told the pump was clunky, it is, but there's a reason behind it. So Dina, tell us why the flange bit is a bit on the clunkier side.
So actually, the flange right over here, you see it has this little piece that sticks out in the back. And yeah, we do get it's a common question. Why do you have this shape here? But this shape is actually to switch your actual shield into a hand pump. So instead of having to purchase a manual hand pump, you can just get this switch kit, which actually all you would have to do is remove this top. You would get a top, and I actually don't have it in front of me, but if you go on our website, or Rue, I don't know if you have a picture of the hand pump that you can show.
I don't have one, but I can see if you can get one.
Okay. Yeah, but there's this little piece that you would just put on. You would click onto this, I would say, handle, and it would change into a hand pump. So that's also really unique about the pump, that you can actually have an electric pump, and all you would need to get is a switch kit to change that into a hand pump versus having to buy a whole set, which makes it also more affordable. And like we said, Unimom is all about making, is about being affordable and to really allowing moms to benefit from breast pumping.
Awesome. I just asked Brittany, our producer, to see if she can get a picture for us. So sit tight. I'm hoping to have a picture for you guys soon.
Sure.
We have a comment here from Leishan who says, I'm actually shocked that there's such a great pump out there. It's amazing how everyone can personalize this pump according to their specific situation. I am extremely impressed.
Thank you.
And then from Aaliyah, I'm sold. Next baby, I want this pump. Make sure y'all are entering the giveaway. We'll have the link put back up so you guys can see it and you can enter the giveaway. And you could be walking away with a Unimom Opera thanks to Unimom and Dina. Question from GJS Mathis. Is there a car charger?
So there actually is not a car charger at this time. No, we do not have that.
So we're going to put that on our wish list. I'm going to be checking back. Another question that's come up with the pumps is, do you have different flange sizes? So right now they're the two that come with the pump, but a lot of moms, as we're learning more and more about how important, a lot of moms are learning more and more about how important the fit is. Moms are saying, hey, but the 24s are just too big for me. I need something smaller. And today I actually had a mom write into me and say, hey, Rue, what's Unimom doing about different flange sizes? What happens?
Right. So actually we are working on having two smaller sizes. And, now with COVID-19 and, all the manufacturers actually being out of business for a while, things have been a little bit, things are taking a little longer than expected, but the goal is at the end of the year to add two more sizes, the 21 and the 19 millimeter. So as of now, we have the 24, the 28, and the 30. And in the box, you'll get two sets of shields. You'll get the 24 and the 28 millimeter. So we are working on that, to answer your question.
And the silicone inserts. Another thing is with the silicone inserts, once we put them on, there is a drop in how much output mom would be getting. Why? So why would you do something that makes moms more comfortable, but at the same time, it takes away from the milk that they're going to be able to pump?
So we actually get, mixed, again, let's put it this way. The massage inserts are optional. They're not, they're not something that has to be used. And that's something important that moms should know, because a lot of times moms feel that, this is something we have to use and it's not working for me. We do have some moms that feel like the plastic typical shield is very uncomfortable and they can't pump properly and want to use the massage inserts. And we encourage moms, if you want to use it, feel free to use it. But just to keep in mind that when mom is, I'm going to take this out so you can see it. So this is what the massage insert looks like. It's the soft silicone cushions that press against the breast. And this is something that you would plug into the shield. There are, again, when you do have an extra cover on top of the shield, automatically suction won't be as strong. It happens to be, Opera is a very powerful pump. The fact that, like I mentioned before, when you're double pumping, suction will not decrease. That for some moms, they really appreciate this piece. And for some moms, they feel that suction is decreasing and they don't like it. So again, it's optional. For moms that want it, can use it. And for moms that don't, they don't have to use it. But this piece actually is more for comfort for mom. Some moms feel that it really works for them. Feedback is that these little cushion pieces press against the breast to help with stimulation. So it really depends, every mom is different and their reaction to the shields versus the, the massage inserts is different for each mom, and they can actually choose what they want. But we did decide to put it in as an option for moms, and why not have more in the box? So
I know, it's a gift that won't stop giving. It's so amazing because, again, in fact, I think you're the only pump company that includes those in the box. I think every other pump company right now, Lansano might be different. I just got their new pump. I haven't had a chance to unbox it, but I think you, again, groundbreaking, maybe the only company that actually includes it, because most moms have to pay $20, $30 to buy the inserts, and you don't know whether or not they're going to work for you. So it's great that, again, Unimom is giving you moms options. You may not use it, but at least you have it. So I really appreciate that. And let's see, another question. Any concern? Do those little holes leave significant imprint? Any concerns with sensitive skin or prone to scarring?
It actually, these little silicone inserts are very comfortable. It's a soft, it's very soft and flexible. So it really, you will not have any scars or any, imprints, significant imprints inside on your breast when using it.
It's almost like having a breast massager is how I feel about having that. It's like having this little gentle massage, um,
That,
with the little imprints. They really feel like comfortable and massagey.
right. It's like a little cushion. Imagine like a little cushion on your breast. That's the way I say it.
I use them with the Unimom Minuet because when I first got introduced to Unimom, I was still breastfeeding Tana. So I was actually able to use your pump. So this is a pump that I can say, not the Opera. I haven't used the Opera. I've tried it on myself, but I'm not breastfeeding. The things I do. This is how crazy I am about baby products. But I tried it on my non-lactating self and it was comfortable. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see how far up it goes. Is it comfortable? But I did try the Minuet with the inserts and I loved the way it felt. I was towards the end of my breastfeeding journey, so I can't really say in terms of did I get more milk with them or not. But it was a great pump. I enjoyed using it. And I think as Dina had alluded to how small it is smaller than an Echo Dot. So it is a tiny, itty bitty, tiny pump that fits in the palm of your hands. Absolutely love the Minuet. Dina, anything else that you want to tell us?
I think we covered the pump.
Go for number 4 just to try this pump. I'm telling you.
Well, you may have to.
Malia wants to know. We said that it's cheaper on Amazon, but it's $5.99 on your website as well right now, right?
Right. Now it's I guess Amazon does have free shipping, but could be it's a drop cheaper, but basically the same price.
Okay, I'm going to try and I want to make sure that I can show people the hand pump. So I'm going to try and get that loaded up. But to walk through, I'm just going to pull up some of the main settings for the Unimom and just have you give us like a round, just a review rather of some of the amazing settings that we have for the Unimom. And I think one of the first things and one of the most important things that sets it apart is the fact that it has 2 motors. So just to summarize why that's important.
Right. So 2 motors, the most common, like I said before, the most common issue moms are having is when they're double pumping, they do not feel that suction is as strong as when they're single pumping. So by having 2 motors, firstly, it's going to last longer because each motor is working separately versus working together, as well as it's going to be more powerful because each side is actually pumping for itself versus pumping, for, both sides at once. And that's what really allows you to have the ultimate suction on each side and not lose any suction when double pumping.
Perfect. And then, like you said, you can set it on different cycles and vacuum suction power on each side,
which is really nice. A lot of pumps will only have the vacuum, which is the suction, where you also have the cycles. And what's nice is you actually have pretty high cycles per minute. Some pumps, their cycles are not as strong as the others. So what's nice about the pump is you can actually, it goes up to 100 cycles per minute, which is pretty nice. So for moms that want that quick stimulation, they want it to be way quicker sucks, really mimicking the way a baby first latches onto the mom. They really get that. And then when mom wants to change into more stronger, slower sucks, they could increase the vacuum and they could lower the cycle to really follow the baby patterns. That baby, the nursing rhythm of a baby.
Awesome. You talked about 4 operating modes, 8 levels of vacuum and suction control. Again, only pump on the market that is doing this. So absolutely. I think the 2 motors and then just the number of alternating of modes that we have, especially the alternating mode. And I want to make sure that everybody understood that. So again, what is the purpose of the alternating mode on the Opera?
So again, when mom is actually, a lot of times moms that are having a harder time increasing their milk supply, where they're having a harder time allowing milk to come out. They're using the pump for a while. Sometimes they need extra stimulation. And by using this alternate mode, it really allows the first side to react to the second side. So when you're pumping on your right side, automatically the left side will react to that and start, increasing their milk supply. And as you go from right side to left side, you're really increasing each side to bring in as much milk as they can, allowing you to have a stronger letdown, which is the goal of the pump. So I don't know if any of you ever use the Haka pump, but the goal of that is when mom is breastfeeding on one side, automatically she will start leaking on the other side. So the Haka pump is there to actually be placed on the other breast so that they can collect milk. So here you're having this done to really help moms out here.
Okay. And so, Dina, you're actually using this pump right now.
I am.
So if you didn't work for Unimom, what would you say? What does Dina the mom, not Dina, operations manager of Unimom, mom to mom?
I have 3. My youngest is 1, and I am still pumping. Actually now, because I don't really go, I travel a lot, and now that I'm not, pumping as much. But right when this pump came out, I've been using this every day on a daily basis. I've been traveling with this pump, going to airport bathrooms with this pump, wherever you can imagine I am with this pump. And what's really nice, again, because it's rechargeable and I'm not bound to an outlet, which was great. And I felt for me when using other pumps, and again, I have a closet of probably every pump out there, tested out every pump. And that was, one of the projects that we did was when we looked at each pump to see what features we like and what could be added and what can't, when you always want to look at all the different options out there and see what you can actually, how do you say it? In a way where you can actually, make it better and make moms, really benefit more moms with, different options and different cool ideas with the pump. But what was nice, I found using this pump versus others, is that the amount of time it took me to really empty out my breasts. And when you're traveling and not bound to your baby, you do want to have a pump that works very quickly and efficiently. And I felt that the amount of milk I was getting in the short amount of time was way more significant than other pumps that I've been used in the past. And, this is something that for me was very important. And again, every mom has different, different ways that they benefit from pumping. Aside from that, I've been, I felt that it did increase my milk supply, especially when I was away from my baby and I wasn't pumping as much. I wanted to still have a pump that will help me when I was not, next to my baby. I mean, I plan to breastfeed until at least, 19, 20 months. So that's the goal. And, I'm getting there. That's what I did with my previous ones. And this pump has really allowed me to, continue having that milk supply even when being away from baby. And I really love the pump. And again, I am working for Unimom, but as a mom that did try all the pumps, I have to say that, you just have so many options. I mean, without even, you look at the options of this pump versus other pumps and you're like, this rocks, I don't know.
Just better for you. Dina thinks this pump is going to kick the rest to the dust. There's no comparison. Honestly, it's been a great pump to be able to share with my patients. I am excited, to work on that 3rd baby so that I can try it out myself. So yeah,
I'm incentive. Huh? Yeah. I said we gave you a good incentive. I'm sure your husband loves you.
I saw that. I was like, well, there you go. Thanks, Unimom. Now I have to have another baby. So I think we've got the pictures of the hand pump. So I'm going to pull those up so people can see what we're talking about. And you'll see what I mean by initially, like I said, I honestly was just like, okay, so the pods are clunky, but forget about that. The pump is great. But now I know why, and it makes so much sense. It just makes me love it even more. So here we go.
Yeah.
So this is what is not in, this part is not included. This is what you would get on your pump anyway. And then if you get the switch kit, then you would get the other parts that you're seeing, which would allow you to presto end up with a hand pump that would look like that.
Right.
So that's pretty neat. I had no idea. I was just telling people, it's clunky. It's just a little clunky, but it's okay. It's a great pump. Don't worry about the flange and all that. So we should keep an eye out. You're going to be getting us smaller flange sizes for the moms that need a 21 and a 19. I don't think there are many companies out there that are also doing a 19. So I'm excited to see how tiny that's going to be. I know you mentioned to me that there is a possibility of still using the Unimom pump, and then using adapter parts, which you can get off Amazon. But Unimom doesn't make any different flanges, correct? Just the ones available with the pump.
Correct. Yeah.
Are there any in specific that you recommend? I know a lot of times I always say to mom, just remember, it wasn't made by Unimom. So if it doesn't quite work the way that we want it to, it's because you're kind of, jerry-rigging stuff and putting it together. But would you say moms have had success in having to do that if they need to go a flange size down?
Right. So for moms that needed to be, let's say, at a 19 millimeter, which we currently don't have, some moms are finding that being a 21, when you put this insert, because this is a 24 millimeter insert, so when you put it on the shield, they feel like it's decreasing like 2 millimeters, so it changes into 22. So some moms found success in using this when they needed to have a smaller size. But for moms that, let's say, need a 19 or need, smaller than the 22, 21. Unimom is a very common brand that we're hearing now that moms are using. Again, just keep in mind, the pump was designed by Unimom, the shields were designed by Unimom. So the parts were made specifically to be used together versus other parts were not made specifically for the Unimom pump. However, for moms that need to pump and their shield size is not right, it will, not allow them to pump properly. So we did hear quite a few moms that needed a smaller size, and we're using Unimom parts, Maymom. Those parts are sold on Amazon, and they're pretty affordable, and they have all different sizes from, I think, like 15 millimeter, like pretty low sizes and higher, going up to like 36 millimeter. So if need be, and you really want this pump, and at the time being you're a size that we don't carry, then that is definitely, something maybe to look at and see. But again, I just want to clarify that the shield, the Unimom pump was made specifically for the Unimom breast shield. So to get your to get the most accurate use out of the pump and to really use it 100% correctly, you would want to stick with the Unimom parts. But again, if you needed other parts at the time being, that's something that, we want it to work. So obviously you have to do what you got to do, right?
Awesome. Thanks, Dina.
Welcome.
It was such a pleasure talking to you. And you look fabulous.
Oh, and you as well. Look at that. The hot pink.
When you look like that, it gives me hope. You're giving me life right now. I'm like, hey, I don't have your genes. I don't know what's going to happen. But no, it was so amazing talking to you today. Thank you for coming on Babies and Boobs. So the winner of our giveaway is, let me pop this up. And it's Erica. Whoops. Where did I put your name? There we go. Erica Blay 77. Username's Erica Blay 77. We are going to be you with the details of how you can get your Unimom Opera. Congratulations for winning. Dina, thank you.
Congratulations. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. It was such a pleasure having you today. All right, guys, that is it for our podcast today. I'm going to be back next week. Again, same time. We've moved to Thursday evenings, and I'm going to be talking to Fit for Mom. And we're going to be talking about ways that you can keep fit while you're pregnant and after baby comes, as well as ways you can work out with your baby so we can all look like Dina.
This is too much for one night.
No, really. It's not all about vanity. I'll push that aside. But we know when you work out and you're healthy, you feel good, you can keep up with those little rascals, and life is good. So I look forward to seeing you next week. It was such a pleasure having you. Bye, y'all.
See you.